What is going on, guys? It's T Blake. Today I'm trying to give you all an idea of some tips in general for getting started as a sneakerhead or getting involved with collecting shoes. There's a lot of huge YouTube channels and a lot of comments I see again and again are, hey, so-and-so, can you give me some tips about getting started? I'm new to this. And the fact of the matter is, in thousands or hundreds of comments, those get drowned out. So I'm trying to, get a video based on my experience to help people that are just getting started out. Alright, so I'm going to break it down into about 4 or 5 sections that I feel are fundamental to getting started. First and foremost is getting the resources to begin to, so to say, know your shit. You guys are going to be spending about $175 on a pair of shoes. With this being said, it's really important that when you're making decisions on what shoes to get, you're well informed. For this reason, I suggest a couple different things that you can do. First and foremost, reach out in your social networks. Facebook, chances are there's going to be a local sneakerhead group. I'm from Connecticut. There are about 4 or 5 different sneakerhead groups broken down into areas that are local to me. This is a great avenue for you to talk to people that are local, to find out about releases, and to find out about good spots. Second thing you can do is join an online forum. There's a couple different sites. What I use personally is Soul Collector. I'm going to put up a little example of Soul Collector right now. As you can see, there's different articles every single day, and every single day it shows new release dates, the latest things, and there's a cop or not percentage, so you can get a general feel on the sneakerhead community and how they feel about different shoes. Other sites include Nice Kicks, Kicks on Fire, 23 is Back. I've used these before, but I stick to what I know. I like Soul Collector. It's pretty legit. I'll put the links for all of them in the description. Okay, so you've started to become a little bit more informed. Now, the next thing that comes is, picking your release dates. If you're trying to cop a shoe, you really want to do it and get it for retail. The sad fact is there's a lot of money to be made aftermarket for shoes. When a shoe comes out, typically a shoe that's released that a lot of people desire, they will sell out the morning of, and you're left to pay resale value, which sometimes is $50 to $100 to, in some cases, thousands of dollars more than what retail would be. So then the question becomes, how can I get a hold of a pair when they're so exclusive? So there's a couple different ways. We're taking a look at the Black Cement 3. This shoe was released November 25th of 2011. This was my first experience with camping out for a shoe. I saw the shoe, I wanted it, I was online, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get it, and I didn't, because I literally slept on it. I had no idea how early I had to wake up. I didn't have a feel on whether or not I could go to the mall and pick it up later, and because of that I missed out on the shoe, and I was only able just to pick it up the other day. So what can you do? Well, in general, if you're looking for a general release shoe, now that you have some knowledge, a general release shoe is a shoe that's not limited in any regard. Your Foot Locker will have it, your Champs will have it. Typically, you want to wake up in time to get to the mall about an hour before it opens for most general releases. Depending on your area, you might want to even camp out. It just really depends on the shoe. And this is something you'll learn over time. You'll get a feel for local areas, local spots. Going back to the local Facebook groups, that's a great way to get a gauge on how late you should camp out and whatnot. So that's key right off the bat. Now you have you got a couple shoes for retail. You're starting to build a collection. Well, then what comes next? How can you make your collection better? And this now goes into trading shoes. And one of the things, the third section I want to talk about is trading shoes, trading safely. So a lot of trades that I go through are all done on Facebook. Facebook's a great way. There's users that post shoes that they have. You can usually check out their account. It seems, if they have a lot of friends on Facebook, it seems like their account's legitimate. You can ask them about where they're from, if they're from a local area. Always picking a safe place to meet up. When I swapped my ball and bucks for these Black Cement 3s and some cash, I said, I'm at Babson College, come to my campus, met up in a public space, no issue whatsoever. Where you get yourself into trouble is if you have to come to them and it's an area you're not familiar with. If it seems wrong, it's not worth the risk. There's no shoe that's worth, either getting, killed for or threatened over. Just if it seems wrong, stay away from it and stay close to the area you're comfortable with. Now going into the final part, now that you've built your collection, you've begun to trade shoes, now it's about, sitting down, looking at your collection and thinking, what do I need? My best advice is don't give in to the hype. I buy shoes that I genuinely like. I have some shoes in my collection that people will look at and they'll be like, well, you know, why the fuck did you cop that? Those are, you know, stupid, or they're still on shelves. And it's like, my simple answer is, I'm not going to give in to the hype. There's a quote on my Instagram. It says, the only thing worse than living in fear is living in hype. You don't want to have your decisions affected by everyone else. If there's a shoe you genuinely like, and it's a shoe that you really want in your collection, go after it. Don't be afraid to, you know, have someone say, you know, why'd you pick that up? Because you just don't want to become, you know, like a hype beast robot, just going after every single general release, and then that's how you're a sneakerhead. And on that note, I'd say diversify your collection. Some guys are strictly Jordan. You know, if you're strictly Jordan, that's awesome. I'm not that way. I like to have some New Balance. I like to have some foams. I like to have, you know, some Asics. Just switch it up. Have a little bit of everything. Have some variety. Get some Nike Dunks. That's a good way to, you know, that it's building your rotation. That's a term for, you know, your rotation of shoes, what that looks like. And ultimately the goal, you know, once you've been collecting, is to look back at your collection and say, you know, I have a rotation that I genuinely love. I have a rotation that's a good mix of brands, and I have a rotation that I'm proud of. And that's really all I can say. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you guys have. I'll answer every single comment on this video, and I want to keep it short, so I'm checking out for now. See you guys, and I really hope this was helpful.